Hey everybody, Tekking here. Well, originally today we were going to do some Isekai D&D, but that got pushed back till tomorrow. So instead, we're just going to spin this wheel and whatever it lands on, we're going to talk about that character in One Piece. Sound good to you? Sound good to me? Let's spin! Spin, spin, spin! How's everybody doing? You drinking enough water? That's good. You should just stay hydrated. What do we got? Oh, we almost had Chow Chow. We almost talked about the dog. But now we gotta talk about Koby. Whatever. Okay. So, Koby video. You know, it's actually cool because Koby has a lot of cool stuff going on for him right now. Okay. So, last time we saw Koby, well, he's in the hospital right now, but the last cool thing he did was he punched a mountain's fist with his own fist, all right? I should probably give a little bit more context. You see, Koby was kidnapped by Blackbeard because Blackbeard had this master plan to infiltrate the world government. He was like, here's the plan, Koby. I'm gonna use you as leverage to the government so they make Hachinosu an official island, and then I could become a king. King Blackbeard. Sounds cool, right? And then I get a position at Reverie, and then I get to make political decisions. That was Blackbeard's plan. Honestly, don't think that plan would have worked. Koby is a rising star amongst the Marines for sure. He's pretty powerful. He's a disciple of Garp. He's a Marine captain. I mean, definitely. He is the future of the Marines, as Garp put it. But I don't think the entire world government would just bend over and allow Blackbeard to become a king of an entire nation of pirates just for one Marine captain. Especially since, and Blackbeard found out about this later through Aokiji, that Koby has already submitted his resignation letter because that's how you become a member of Sword, okay? So, yeah, Koby rightfully was like, that plan is dumb and that is not going to work. And, you know, I could bring up at this point, like, why Blackbeard wanted to become the king of a nation. You could say, well, just because of that alone, but that's definitely not Blackbeard's final goal. Probably has something to do with the fact he sent Devon and Augur to go copy Saturn's appearance at Egghead, but we're not talking about that. The wheel has spoken, and we're talking about Koby. All right. So, after this incident, Garp, of course, gets captured. Koby leaves. They end up at the central hospital at the Marine base, and Koby is currently recovering. So that's where he's at right now in the story, okay? Actually, I saw a meme earlier today, coincidentally, that compared Koby to Deku from My Hero Academia. It's just like, One Piece has its own Deku as a side character, and it's Koby. I'd be like, yeah, you know, I could kind of see that, honestly, yeah. You know, Garp is All Might, and Koby's in the hospital a lot. It happened at the end of Marineford. It happened here, so sure. But the most notable thing was in one of the most recent chapters at like kind of the very tail end of Egghead, when Vegapunk was ending his message. He declares to the entire world the significance of finding the One Piece, and the person that does find the One Piece will kind of control the fate of the world in their hands, all right? It's not just, oh, you know, the pirates find it and it's some treasure and gold doubloons, matey. No, Vegapunk made it out to be like, nah, whoever finds the One Piece, like, it's either for the better or for the worse of the entire planet. So it will be extremely significant, whoever finds it, all right? The fate of everybody, you know, every man, woman, child, dog, and dolphin on the entire world is going to be affected by this, right? And we saw that page where we saw the 12 different characters who it could be. And we, of course, see Luffy and Shanks and Buggy and Blackbeard as the Yonko, but we see a bunch of other characters on there too, like Eam and Aokiji, and we also see Koby. And Koby even mentions, while he's listening to Vegapunk speak over the Denden Mushi in the hospital, he specifically reaffirms to himself, I'm sorry, Luffy-san, but I can't allow you to get the One Piece, right? Now, this is something cool that I like about Koby and Luffy's, like, friendship that they have. They are friends, but Koby also acknowledges that we are on opposite ends of the law here, okay? Koby knows that not all pirates are the murdering and pillaging type of pirate. He knows that Luffy is not the type to do that kind of stuff. But even so, Koby is someone that will always stand with justice, and he has a very wholesome, very honest, very humanist view of justice in the world, unlike a lot of other Marines, and certainly unlike the higher-ups in the world government do. I could certainly see Koby as a very noble, honorable admiral someday, but he's pretty young right now. You know, Koby's only like 18 years old, so he's not going to be like an admiral by the end of the story. If we do an epilogue later on, I could see like 30 years in the future, you know, Koby is an admiral. I could see that. But I'd rather not let that happen until he's gotten a little bit more experience under his belt. Maybe even fleet admiral someday for Koby. Absolutely fine with that. But he, you know, he admits this. He's like, hey, look, I like Luffy. He's a really good friend. I want to see him succeed. And maybe even before Koby heard the message from Vegapunk, maybe if he was just like, oh, the One Piece is a great treasure and, you know, it's a lot of money or something like that. Because nobody really knows what the One Piece is. In the One Piece world, there's probably, like, conspiracy theorists that are thinking of what the One Piece is. You know, I think it's a spaceship. You know, it's like something like that. I don't know what they thought it was, but whatever Koby thought the One Piece was beforehand, maybe he would have been okay with Luffy getting it. He's like, well, if anybody could get their hands on the One Piece, I want it to be Luffy, right? If anybody's going to grab it, right? But then Vegapunk says in his message, like, no. This is actually, like, really, really significant. And that's what makes Koby reaffirm this, that, okay, the person that finds the One Piece, if it's going to affect the entire world, like the civilians, it needs to be in the hands of somebody that's actually going to be, like, responsible with it and actually knows how to, like, treat that power with care, okay? Now, Luffy is certainly not the worst person to get their hands on it, but he's definitely not the best either, okay? Blackbeard would be worse, clearly. Buggy, I don't know, Buggy would be okay with it. But Kobe's like, no, I can't let him get it. Now, Koby also is a very humble guy. He was so humble, in fact, when the other members of Sword arrived on Hachinosu to save him, Koby was like, oh, did they come to save me? Oh, no, that can't be it. I'm being too arrogant again. Oh, no, they can't be here to save me. You know, I'm not that important, you know, like, right? So Kobe's very humble. So he's not going to be like, I will be the one to find the One Piece. I will be the one to shape the world. And it's honestly kind of that humble nature of Koby that I think is going to lead the Marines eventually into a new era, okay? And it's already kind of shown through. You know, Koby's shining moment in the story, well, I don't know. I mean, like, we had the moment where he honesty impacted a mountain. So let me know if that eclipsed the other shining moment of Koby. For you personally, and everybody has a different perspective on this, what is a better Koby moment for you? The moment that he, you know, threw himself in front of a Kainu, like, please, we gotta stop this madness. And then Akainu was just like, shut up, we don't need any Marines like you. Ah! And then Koby's like, well, I'm dead, but hey, whatever. At least I died with dignity, with tears and snot running down my nose. You know, and then Shanks shows up and, of course, blocks, you know, Akainu and everything. Was that more of an epic Koby moment for you, or was it the moment where he honesty impacted Pizarro? He fist bumped an island, you know? Was that more of the epic moment there? One of them is certainly more cool in terms of, like, shonen, like, oh my god, he punched a mountain! And another one is just more of, like, oh, for a character perspective. It's not the biggest explosive thing, but he threw himself in front of a Kainu. That takes balls, okay? Because, you know, Koby kind of had to know that, like, this plan wasn't gonna work, but he had to try. That is his character. He had to try, okay? He had to throw himself in front of an admiral, 99% chance that it's not gonna work, but he has to say his piece. No one else is speaking up, so he has to do it, okay? Now, I already did a video discussing Koby's, like, character in general, so we gotta go toward the future with Koby's character rather than the past, because I already had a video on that. So let's see here. That's good coffee. What kind of coffee do you think Koby drinks? Do you think he likes his coffee? Probably like a lot of cream, I would assume. Probably like a lot of cream. That could be a video. All right. So, this is going to be a moment. All right. Considering the way that Oda is setting all of this up here, you know, with Garp, clearly, he's not dead yet, but Garp is trapped and captured by, you know, Blackbeard's crew. He's all chained up right now on Hachinosu. Is this going to lead into a rescue operation? Is this going to lead into Koby mobilizing Sword and being like, okay, everybody, we gotta go save Garp. You guys don't know Garp, I know Garp. Or, actually, that actually might happen. Not going to rescue Garp. The other members of Sword might want to do that. Like, I could see Prince Groose wanting to do that, and I could see Tashigi, like, especially when maybe Smoker gets to the hospital or whatever, where they all kind of want to go rescue Garp, and they need to mobilize and figure out a way to go back to Hachinosu. And I bet you it would be Koby and it would be Smoker if they were in the room together, Smoker meets back up at the hospital, because I guess he's heading there right now with his large crate that he was carrying on his billower bike, okay? So I could see Smoker and Koby agreeing not to go rescue Garp, for a number of reasons. Number one, it's the lesson that Garp taught Koby, the whole lesson that, like, it, you know, began this whole thing, why he wanted them to leave the island to begin with and not stay and rescue him, okay? It's just like, hey, you know, you are the future of the Marines. I'm an old man. I'm past my prime. I'm passing the torch. Let me die. Go on, and you know, you continue on the next generation, right? That's the whole idea, right? So there's definitely going to be some of that in there, like the lessons that Garp taught him. Also, it's, you kind of only get one shot at a really epic surprise attack on Hachinosu. They already did that. Hachinosu is going to be on high alert from now on. Okay, now, granted, they're pretty banged up from the first assault. Like, Pizarro's all bandaged up and the Mountain is all wearing bandages and everything like that. But the rest of Blackbeard's crew, which, by the way, they are now all mobilized on the island, attacking Hachinosu now, which I'm not saying Sword would immediately go, because they kind of lick their wounds as well. They gotta, you know, heal up as well from the fight. But attacking in the future, even if they wait to heal, that's like, well, Blackbeard's crew is going to heal up as well, and they're also going to be waiting for it. I can see Blackbeard putting Don Krieg and Geen in charge of island security from here on out. I could see the Iron Wall Pearl protecting Hachinosu from any other further attacks. So, from a practical standpoint, it's just not a great idea. And I could see Koby and Smoker agreeing, and I could see Smoker kind of like respecting Koby's decision on that, where Smoker has a moment where he's there smoking a big fat cigar, and he's like, this kid right here, Koby, he's a pretty level-headed, practical guy. I think he's going to be the one to lead the Marines in the future. Like, I could even see Smoker being like, I could see why Garp chose him as an apprentice. Garp has taught him well, right? Because the way I see this going on is, by the end of the story, Smoker is probably going to be an admiral. Now, you could say whatever you want about that, and you'd be like, he's not nearly strong enough. Dude, he is the only Marine, aside from the admirals, that has a logia. And every admiral has a specific color and animal designated to them. The animals, coincidentally, happen to be animals from the Chinese zodiac. And Smoker represents the color white because, you know, he has, you know, all of his attacks are like white blow and stuff like that. He's made of smoke. And also, his animal is a snake, because he uses like an attack called like White Snake, is literally the name of an attack he uses. Just like how Akainu has Red Dog. It is very obvious that Smoker is going to be an admiral by the end of the story. Like White Snake would probably be his epithet, right? I guess it would be Shirohebi or something like that, right? So he's going to be an admiral by the end of the story, like right now. And he's a little, you know, Smoker's like in his mid-30s. It's a little younger for an admiral, but the Marines are probably going to be the Marines are going to be in shambles by the end of the story, okay? But before we do any epilogue into the future, after the Straw Hats find the One Piece, after that big epic war that's going to ensue, after the One Piece has been found at Laugh-Tale, a lot of battles are going to be fought, and the Marines are just going to be a wreck. I don't think Sakazuki's going to be the fleet admiral anymore after this. Fujitora might stick around because he might lead the Marines into a new era. A lot of Marines might die. I mean, if this is a final war, obviously Koby's not going to die. I don't think Smoker's going to die. Tashigi, like, they'll be all safe and everything, but a lot of the vice admirals and maybe even Sakazuki might die. I hope Momonga doesn't die, but man, that would be impactful as hell if Momonga died. Stainless is probably going to die. Cancer's probably going to die. Cancer is the other Marine that just chain smokes all the time. He's like a less cool version of Smoker, so he's probably going to die, right? A lot of Marines are going to die, and the Marines are going to be in a situation where they're going to need, you know, a new set of leadership. So I could see Smoker becoming an admiral then. Koby will be probably promoted. In fact, maybe even like Koby might turn down a promotion, kind of like Garp did, where Garp was like offered the position of admiral several times, and he turned it down every single time. Not because he didn't feel like he was qualified. He was definitely qualified, just because he didn't want to listen to the Tenryubito. And that's not going to be an issue by the end of One Piece. By the end of the fight at Laugh-Tale, the big epic final war, Tenryubito aren't going to be an issue anymore, right? No problems whatsoever. But I could see Koby. I could see even them like, hey, Koby, we're going to promote you to, you're not ready for admiral yet, but we're going to promote you to vice admiral. I could see Koby just being like, I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I think there's still a lot for me to learn, and I think there's a lot room for me to get stronger, and, like, I might be, pretty tough on my own, but, like, there's experience here. Just because Koby can punch a mountain, in half doesn't mean he has the experience for that position yet. So I could see him taking a promotion. He's a captain right now, so the next status up would be Commodore Koby. I could see him doing that. Maybe even Rear Admiral, which is where Groose and Kujaku are right now, other members of Sword. So I could see Koby doing that, but I don't see Koby becoming an admiral by the end of the story. It's just not happening, right? We cut a little bit further into the future, maybe like 30, 40 years into the future. Koby is an admiral at this point, and Smoker is the fleet admiral. I feel like Smoker is going to be more relevant coming up. I know, because of everything, that we haven't really seen a lot of Smoker since the time skip. We only really got to see him fight Virgo, and he got beat up pretty handily there, and there was a reason for that and everything, but we just haven't seen Smoker in a while. But I think Smoker's definitely being set up to be an admiral, and then Koby will be after him, right? Absolutely. So for all those reasons, I don't think they're going to rescue Garp, okay? I think Garp is either going to get freed on his own or he's going to die. I'm not against the idea of Garp dying in this story. It's just people thought that it would have happened like off screen. Like when Aokiji froze Garp, it's like, that's it, he's dead. It's like, no. There has got to be, if Garp's going to die, there has to be a very emotional scene where, like, Koby is present when that happens. See, they're gonna bring him over to the Cross Guild, because the Cross Guild's gonna pay Blackbeard's crew. That was the whole reason they kept him kind of alive. Although, if they got him dead, they could probably also give out the reward money. But it's really hard to kill Garp, right? And you gotta make it a spectacle and everything like that. So, this is gonna tie the Blackbeard crew to the Cross Guild, so we're gonna have some interactions there between, like, Blackbeard and, like, Mihawk and Crocodile and everything like that. Now, if something happens there where maybe then you could have Koby try to go rescue Garp or something with the Cross Guild instead of Blackbeard's crew, maybe. I'm not really sure. I still think the same kind of issues apply here, where Koby would be kind of conflicted about that. But I could also see Koby eventually succumbing to just wanting to save his master and be just like, look, I know what he told me to do. I know he told me not to go rescue him. I'm the future of the Marines and everything like that. And attacking Hachinosu again right after we just did that, that would be kind of dangerous. But attacking the Cross Guild, and maybe with the assistance of some other groups, like maybe there's other, Marines that might help them, because Sword is relatively limited in their influence, because there's not that many of them. I really don't think the Straw Hats are going to be able to help, because we're in Elbaf right now, and I personally feel like Elbaf is going to be a relatively long arc. Now, there's going to be travel time, because they have to the Cross Guild either has to go to Hachinosu to pick up Garp, or Blackbeard's crew has to bring Garp to the Cross Guild, to Kalibali Island. It's one of the two. I would imagine the way that this would work is probably delivering Garp to Kalibali. That would be the way that it would work. Like, you have to, like, Buggy's not going to go and pick up the Marine. He's not going to go pick up the Vice Admiral. You got to deliver that to him, right? Which gives options for Garp to escape, or maybe not. Maybe Garp's also resigned himself to his fate. That could also be a thing, too. But there could also be a moment where it's like, I've resigned myself to this, I will die. And then Garp realizes, you know what, that's stupid. Roar! And he just breaks out of the chains. And he's like, I still got a little bit of fight left in me. Roar! It could be something like that, right? Koby, in terms of power, in terms of getting to the level of power, he might be getting set up here to be like the next Garp. Once again, it would be like 40 years, 50 years from now, Garp level power for Koby. That would be pretty neat. I mean, he's already exhibited the ability. I mean, the power scaling of him punching out the giant island fist, I mean, that's pretty monumental, okay? That's nothing to, like, scoff at. That's insane strength. And the idea is also, like, we have been following the Straw Hats in this story. We have not been following Koby. I did another video about what if Koby was the protagonist of One Piece, following him through that, and I talked about, like, oh, what if there was, like, like we see how Koby met Hibari and everybody, and maybe there was a tournament. I basically did make that, like, My Hero Academia plot a little bit, so, yeah, that is kind of Koby. Koby is the Deku of One Piece. Garp has entrusted him with the ultimate fist that has been passed down through the generations, and now this power is yours, young Koby, and then Koby receives it, like, ah! And so I will end it out with this kind of shorter video for me, probably still around 20 minutes. But I will end it out by saying this. I love the idea that Oda presented in this story, where if you just work hard enough, and when I say just work hard enough, it's the idea that literally if you just keep punching a steel wall over and over and over again, you will unlock superpowers. Because that's something like, you wonder, Koby was this pudgy kid growing up, kind of out of shape. He was just a normal civilian, didn't really have anything unique about him. And he got, professional training from Garp and everything, but it was all about his willpower, because that's hockey in the universe of One Piece, right? It's your ambition. If you have that ambition, and you're really dedicated to it, and you do not waver, and you are dedicated, and you just keep on punching a brick wall or a steel hull just over and over and over again, eventually, your arms and your bones don't just fall apart from punching a steel wall. No, they get stronger and stronger, and eventually you unlock armament hockey. And in the case with Koby, he's also, of course, got observation, which he unlocked at Marineford when he heard the voices of 1,000 souls being, extinguished in a mere moment, right? So, yeah, it's the idea that, like, if any normal civilian in One Piece, apparently this applies to, too. Any random farmer in the South Blue, or any random baker over in the East, if they just dedicate themselves enough to training to the point where they're coughing up blood and their bones are breaking, eventually you can reach the level of greatness. I guess that's the message there, because Koby was just an ordinary civilian. That's literally no devil fruit power, no hockey, just a guy, and now he's punching out mountains. So there's the memo. Now, with that being said, please don't go out and just punch brick walls or steal ships. That's not good. You will not unlock superpowers in our world. You will get severe injuries. You don't want to do that, right? But this is Koby we're talking about here. Okay. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, and I always keep forgetting to bring this up, but I have been playing Baldur's Gate 3 a lot recently on the channel. Sometimes when I do the streams, people say that they don't get, like, announcements or whatever. So tonight, I will be playing Baldur's Gate 3 on this channel right here. It should be around, maybe I should schedule these. Maybe I should, like, give a little bit of warning before I do the Baldur's Gate 3 streams. It'll probably be around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time. I'll see if I'll set something up beforehand to actually, alert people before I do those. So yeah, I'm doing that tonight. A lot of fun, and we're entering Act 2 with the next episode, actually. So good jumping on point with the Bark Urge. He's a tree. I'm a tree druid. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody. This will be Tekking, signing out.